8 powerful lessons from the book, How to Change. Number 1. Why is it that these tools and techniques designed to spur change so often fail? One answer is that change is hard, but a more useful answer is that you haven't found the right strategy. Just as Andre Agassi spent years falling short of his potential by playing tennis with the wrong approach, we often fail by applying the wrong tactics in our attempts at change. Like Agassi, we search for solutions that will deliver the quick knockout victory and tend to ignore the specific nature of our adversary. But to give yourself the best chance at success, it's critical to size up your opponent and develop a strategy tailored to overcome the particular challenges you face. Number 2. An ideal time to consider pursuing change is after a fresh start. Fresh starts increase your motivation to change because they give you either a real clean slate or the impression of one. They relegate your failures more cleanly to the past, and they boost your optimism about the future. They can also disrupt bad habits and lead you to think bigger picture about your life. Fresh starts can be calendar dates that mark new beginnings, a new year, season, month or week, birthdays or anniversaries. They can also be triggered by meaningful life events, such as a health scare or a move to a new town. And finally, resets, when the metrics you're using to track your performance are set back to zero, can also offer fresh starts. Although fresh starts can jolt you into positive change, they can also interrupt you when you're on a roll, reversing your progress. So beware. A particularly effective time to encourage other people, employees, friends, or family members to pursue positive change is after fresh starts. Number 3. To get it, we first have to acknowledge that much of the time, it's not conveniently the case that we love doing what's good for us. Instead, the beastliest impediments to change are often the short-term pain and inconvenience associated with doing what we know we should do. Typically, when we pursue ambitious goals, we're working against the tug of temptation. Number 4. Present bias often causes us to procrastinate on tasks that serve our long-term goals. An effective solution to this problem is to anticipate temptation and create constraints, commitment devices, that disrupt this cycle. Whenever you do something that reduces your own freedoms in the service of a greater goal, you're using a commitment device. An example is a locked savings account that prevents you from accessing your money until you've reached your savings goal. Cash commitment devices are a versatile form of commitment device. They allow you to create a financial incentive to meet your goal by letting you put money on the line that you'll forfeit if you don't succeed. Public pledges are a form of soft commitment that increase the psychological cost of failing to meet your goals. They are surprisingly effective, though not as effective as hard commitments, which involve more tangible penalties or restrictions. Number 5. Implementation intention is a fancy term that refers to a fairly straightforward strategy the group of students with the higher success rate used. Making a plan for achieving a goal and linking it to a specific cue that will remind you to act. A cue can be something simple, such as a date and time, say 3 p.m. on Tuesday, or more complex, such as passing a specific Dunkin' Donuts on the way to the office. Often, when we make plans, we don't focus on what will trigger us to act. Instead, we focus on what we intend to do. For instance, a typical plan to improve oral hygiene might be, I'm going to start flossing more. Peter's work shows it's vital to link that intention with a cue, such as a specific time, place, or action. If you want to floss more regularly, a helpful tweak to your plan would be to say, every night after brushing my teeth, I'm going to floss. Forming an implementation intention is as simple as filling in the blanks in the sentence, when happens, I'll do. Number 6. The ideal solution to any problem stemming from our inherent laziness is a single-dose solution, a default. If you can, set it and forget it. Whatever change you're trying to create will be quite easy to make. Unfortunately, we often can't rely on one-time solutions. When laziness is working against us, and a default can't produce lasting change, when there's no one-time vaccine to cure what ails us, the next best option is to engineer a habit. Engineering habits means relying on repetition or drilling to develop a consistent response to familiar cues, while rewarding ourselves for each success. Number 7. Our expectations about what will happen can influence what actually happens in 4 key ways. First, our beliefs can change our emotions. If you have positive expectations, that often generates positive feelings, which have a host of physiological benefits, such as alleviating stress and reducing blood pressure. And that can make a big difference in what happens next. Our beliefs can also redirect our attention. Take the housekeepers described above. If they started paying closer attention to the ways in which their work was like exercise, they may have interpreted their physical exhaustion more positively throughout a long workday, helping them press on. There is also evidence that beliefs can change motivation. Again, consider the housekeepers. Their motivation to get high-quality exercise on the job likely increased once they started thinking of work as an opportunity to improve their fitness. And finally, beliefs can affect our physiology, not just through our emotions, but directly. Number 8. When we're pursuing a big goal, disappointment is inevitable. And when we get discouraged, it can be tempting to give up. So it's critical to allow for mistakes and prevent them from sullying a strong performance streak. By preparing to recover from the occasional failure and focusing on past successes, we can conquer self-doubt, build resilience, and make it easier to change for years to come, not just until we hit the first bump in the road.